Credit agency names 283 U.S. firms most likely to go bust. Now, this is interesting. U.S. industrial companies such as Eastman Kodak, media firms such as Univision Communications, and car makers including Ford and GM have a 45% chance of going bust in the next 12 months, according to a report published yesterday. This is Tuesday last, so a couple of days ago. I would say that that's a very benignly conservative number. It's more like 85 to 95%. These companies are already broke. They're done. In a new bottom-rung list, credit ratings agency Moody's names 283 American companies that it says may file for insolvency in the medium term. I say most of them are already insolvent. Let me see if I can pull some names out of this story here. Media and car companies make up about a quarter of the list as both sectors are suffering, blah, 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 da-da-da-da-da. Media companies such as Reader's Digest Association, Regent Communications, Affinity Group, Citadel Broadcasting, and Media News Group are on the list. The group, of course, includes GM, Ford, and Chrysler, which are already dead. They're the walking dead. Retailers and manufacturers face a similar fate, with a record number of chains already having gone broke. Video rental store Blockbuster and restaurant group El Pollo Loco, or Pollo Loco, made it to the list as well. Casino operators not faring well either. Las Vegas, I am told, is practically a ghost town. Harrah's Entertainment and MGM Mirage may shut down soon. It goes on. UAL, United Airlines, and U.S. Airways and JetBlue also in very grave trouble. Satellite developer Intelsat and the Krispy Kreme Donut Corporation also slated for the ash heap of history. Just a few. Anyway, we're talking with Gerald, and he's been mentioning the commercial real estate crash for quite some time. This is indicative of that. It's the other end of that spectrum, but commercial real estate and commercial retail is, well, folks, just wait until June and you see how many cadavers there are laying around.
Yeah, that's a very good marking point. June is just about the time it's going to start happening. We had anticipated it would happen a bit earlier, but we were a little premature on it. We thought just around this time of the year when they started tallying up their losses from Christmas, but they're being fudged. Just an anecdotal story. I went to Macy's on Sunday, a local one over here, and I ended up buying a jacket, a sport jacket, that was originally selling for $135. Are you ready for this? $13.
No kidding.
They're giving the stuff away.
Yeah, I guess it's just taking up room. They're hoping to be able to...
And of course, you know, I'm always asking questions everywhere I go. I always talk to the people working there. Business is dead. You can roll a bowling ball dead. This is a Sunday.
Right down the aisles,
There's nobody around. And it's store after store. They're giving, and that's why these retail sales are holding up to the levels that they're showing. But they're not making any money.
5-10%, maybe.
No, you know, they're giving the stuff away. Things that are $85, you know, you buy now for $15.
Well, they're going to hope to write some of it off if they're still in business at the end of the tax year, I guess.
So you're going to start seeing major failures in the retail sector. And there's going to be, as we said, a commercial real estate collapse that's going to dwarf the subprime problem. And what's also going to happen now, the suckers are going to start buying these distressed and foreclosed properties, whether they're business or residential. And there's no need to rush into this because the prices are going to go lower. But the people, you know, they think they're gonna miss the boat. The same thing with the stock market; they're gonna sucker people into it. So what we're saying is, there's plenty of time. It's going to be years before this thing corrects, if it corrects at all. It'll
never correct to the way it was, Gerald. There's a whole new format that we're going to do business on and with as a nation. We're not going back. It's not going to happen.
Well, when you look at what they're saying, if you analyze the words, as I'm sure you have and many of the listeners, when you hear President Obama say that they have to free up credit so that banks could lend again and people could borrow.
Yeah.
I mean, this is insanity. This is what got us here.
Yeah.
Banks lending and people borrowing way beyond their means.
Well, there's a method in that insanity. They know what they're doing, and they want more people and more debt. This is how the ultimate bring down, the takedown, is going to be accomplished. The whole public will be insolvent, and that's what they want. They want indentured servants in terms of usury and all the rest of it.
You got it. The people are turned into indentured servants. The only people that are going to survive and even thrive in this downturn are people that are physically, emotionally, and spiritually sound. They better be healthy on every level.
Oh, yeah.
Because the ones that aren't, and the cubicle workers out there in the world, and the people that are relying on their bosses for employment, they're going to be in real deep trouble. Because if you're not working for a firm where everyone's a part of the team and profits are really shared and you're not getting a real living wage, then you're in the wrong place because you're going to go down as the economy goes down. And what we're teaching and what we're preaching is Depression-era self-defense in every meaning of the word.
How is it that people can continue to carry on? I don't know how they're doing it. I don't understand it. I see people eating fast food. I see the rather typical lines at the I guess they say we've got to eat. And yet when I go around and I see obese people everywhere, maybe this depression will do something for reducing the national epidemic of obesity, Gerald. I don't know. Maybe that'll be one little bright spot. I've never seen more fat people, though. There's just and you're going to see, as Gerald is telling you, an awful lot of sick people by the end of this year. Their immune systems are just going to give up because their spirit will give up, and they're going to get sick. They'll be so ripe for a pandemic. Oh, my. Hang on, I'll be right back. I still am amazed at how people who have not been directly impacted yet don't get it. But that's the nature of the game. When you're controlled by a fascist government and an absolutely complicit media, you have the most ruthless electromagnetic media, I guess you could even imagine. These people don't have much of a chance, Gerald, to really grasp reality until they lose that job and realize they're going to lose their home. And I met a couple a week and a half ago. 3 teenage kids. Guy had nice business, hired 7 full-time auto mechanics. Lost it all. Gone. House, business, the works. They have no money, nothing. Zero. And this is happening millions of times across the country, and before it's over, it probably will happen tens of millions of times. This is not going to be the same. But back to my point about massive immunological dysfunction. This comes from stress. You know, if you get angry for even 1 minute, it can compromise your immune system for up to 8 hours. That's a fact. Now, these people who are losing everything are living with chronic and constant stress, misery. The woman a week and a half ago, Gerald, told me, she said, I cried more than I ever thought was humanly possible.
And plus, when you look at the environmental pollutants, and so many of your advertisers, talk about, the genetically modified foods and on and on.
Sure.
One of the things that we are forecasting is a new black plague. So with the combinations of stress and with all of our compromised immune systems,
there you go.